Hi guys. I just filmed almost a whole video and was not recording. So now you're going to get a really short video. All right. I am going to show you how to foil through stencils. I'm so mad at myself right now. All right, and we are using the Pink and Main Layered Eggs stencils. This is 2 stencils. And what you missed me doing was actually, this stencil has 2 little registration marks. So I tucked my paper, and this is Hammermill, I believe 100-pound cardstock, into a waffle flower stencil mat. Stuck my stencil in the corner, and then I stenciled it using Be Mine from Catherine Pooler on the top, Lilac from Simon Says Stamp in the middle, and Heather from Simon Says Stamp on the bottom. So I think you guys get the gist of that and understand that, right? Now, it's very important that you do not use pixie spray when doing foiling, because the pixie spray actually, it's an adhesive that helps to hold your stencil down, but that adhesive residue can be left behind and it will affect your foiling. So that's why I used my waffle flower mat, because it kept everything tucked in the corner. You can also apply a little bit of tape or hold it down to stencil that, okay? Once you have that whole thing stenciled, and you can use any stencil, by the way, it does not have to be a layered stencil, and you can use any inks. I do recommend dye inks because they dry fairly quickly, but you can use any inks that you have. This has a second stencil, and so what we would do with the second stencil is line it up. Okay. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. And once you have that lined up, you're going to take a palette knife and you're going to apply some paste through here. Again, you don't want to use pixie spray. You can use tape, and you want to hold this down and apply the paste. Now, here's the difference in paste. It has to be some kind of shiny or glossy paste. So these are the pastes that will work with heat. So we have Shimmery Goodness or any of the TCW, what do they call those stencil butters? Those will all work. They're all glossy. We have Lunar Paste. That'll work. You could certainly just spread Lunar Paste through here and it looks great with all that shiny bling, but you can foil on this. And then we have Ranger Texture Paste. Now just be careful because Ranger has 2 kinds of texture paste. Texture paste gloss is what you want. You do not want to use texture paste matte, okay? This is not going to foil. It has to be glossy, okay? And those are all methods with heat, meaning a laminator or a Mink machine. If you want to do it without heat, you're going to use Transfer Gel Duo. Duo is the only one that I have that works without heat. Okay, so once we take this gel through and we run it through, and you don't want to go back, forth, up, down, sideways. You want that to stay as a pretty even, nicely thin coat over your stencil. Then you're going to take your stencil off and you're going to go wash it and let that panel dry. I do recommend letting it dry as long as possible overnight for best results. And again, do not use any pixie spray. Once that has dried, you have 2 options for getting the foil to transfer. So we would pick out our foil, and I used 2 foils from Pink and Main. We have Amethyst Cheer foil, and I think this is Pink Fairy Wings. You'll have to forgive me, something like that. It's a fuchsia holographic color, okay? So I use these 2 colors. And I ran one through my Mink machine, which is this guy here. And when you reveal it, this is when I realized my camera was not on, you have the foil stuck on there. Again, this paste must be completely dry before you do this. Okay, this is the heat method. Everything I just showed you will work with the heat method, and you want to use toner foil, okay? You don't want to use hot foil. If you're going to use heat with the laminator or the Mink, you don't want to use hot foil. You want to use toner foil, okay? Then I was going to reveal the second way, which was creating a sandwich with your die cutting machine. So I had my base cutting plate. I had my panel and my foil. Then I had the magnetic shim, I had the Milky Shim, and I had my top plate. And I ran this sandwich through my Gemini Junior. So this is the non-heat method. The non-heat method only with Duo Gel. It's got to say Duo Gel. No heat added, no laminator, no ink machine. Same process with stenciling it. It was actually the bottom half of the stencil. So everything was the same. The only thing I did was I cut it in half, and I ran half through the ink and half through my Gemini Junior, my die cutting machine. And you can use hot foil in the non-heat method because there's no heat being applied, so I don't have to worry about that heat touching my foil. So if you mistakenly bought hot foil, you can use the Transfer Gel Duo and use it through your die cutting system. And you can see here that that foil transfers just as beautifully with the heat, without the heat. There is virtually no difference between using heat and not using heat. So again, the purple side was using the ink machine and it had heat, and the pink side was using my die cutting machine and it had no heat. So you can see it was the exact same panel. I inked that up all together. I applied the paste through. I let it dry for 24 hours, and then I did 1/2 through my ink machine, and I did 1/2 through my die cutting machine. And just using Deco Foil Duo Gel. And this is using a toner foil. So that is a very simple, easy way to add foiling to your stenciling projects. You also want to remember too, because this is a gel, it's never going to be perfect with application. You just want to apply it and be very smooth with it. But you will get some little dips and hills and valleys. It is the organic look of using any paste, but it still looks gorgeous just adding that foil. All right, so this is another way to stretch your foiling supplies. If you have any questions, post them down below. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention is you do not have to do dusty with this. Because there is no black toner here, you don't have to worry about dusting anything. It's just going to stick to wherever there is gel, it will stick. If you had fun learning something new, please give this video a thumbs up on your way out. Thanks for watching and keep on foiling. Bye, guys.